If you can do anything else, you probably should. The only reason you should be owning a furniture business is if you have an extreme passion, and I do. It's hard to make a sustainable income only making custom furniture. There's big expenses, and unless you've been in the industry a long time, are a big recognizable name, or have some really awesome, reliable clients, it's hard to make that same profit month over month, year over year. One of the many things I've learned on this journey as a business owner is you need to diversify. You'll hear it from everybody and their mom that putting all your eggs in one basket, not the smartest move. And they're right. You probably shouldn't be doing that. You need to basically put out a whole bunch of buckets that are collecting a little bit of money here and there. So whether that be teaching, whether that be content, plan sales, physical products like I'm doing, or a little bit of everything. You need to really kind of diversify in everything that you're doing to make sure that you're bringing in enough income, because when you put all those buckets out, they may be only collecting a little bit here and there, but when you pour them into the main bucket at the end of the month, they do add up. And at the year over year, as you get bigger, as you get better, it starts to actually become a viable business. So one of the things I'm learning is I don't think I can just sustain myself on the custom furniture that I build, even though I feel that is very high quality. But I'm really starting to get into like this, doing content, hoping to build up my content on YouTube specifically, but doing Instagram, trying to get some sponsors, kind of the route that I think everybody is going nowadays, as it is a digital platform. Even doing some plan sales. I've thought about doing a couple courses on actually building game tables, as I've had a few people reach out. But like I said, it's tough being a furniture business. Don't do it unless you absolutely love it. It's incredibly long hours. You're never really off, and it is hard to disconnect from what this was my hobby and now is my job and my hobby. So it's sometimes hard to deal with that, but we're moving forward. Welcome back. Stone Mountain Projects, Shoplife, week 13. Let's talk. Let's get into it. One of the many things I've learned on this journey is you got to roll with the punches. And one of the things I've said from the beginning of the Shoplifes is I don't know how this is gonna go, how this is gonna evolve. And one of the things that I kind of am not really enjoying anymore is how structured it is just kind of like what's on my bench, how much I'm making, boom, boom, boom. And then that's the end of the video. I don't think it's enjoyable for everyone else to watch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of just want to have more of a flowing conversation. What happened in the shop this week, the highlights, the low points, kind of everything, but less in a less formal, structured way. So as we're doing this, the next couple weeks might be a little bit different. Let me know if you like it, you don't. But what happened this week? This was actually a pretty decent week overall. We worked on a good couple projects. We got the LED table installed. That's all done. It was awesome delivering it to a military base because it had a whole bunch of military people to help lift it and move it because it had to go through a bunch of the building and up into a very specific spot. So glad that got done. I finally carved one of my own spoons, my first spoon. It was very crude. It was just right off the knife. I just wanted to make something. I made pasta with it that same night, so it was cool. It now sits in our kitchen in our little holder. So I'm happy that I kind of got into that, realizing that it is a lot tougher than people make it look. And I know that's pretty much with everything, but it was fun. I was glad that it actually looked like a spoon. It functioned like a spoon. I learned a lot from that first one going into my second one that I'm already working on, because I can see this being a very addictive hobby of just sitting around a campfire or on a camping trip carving a spoon or a ladle or a paddle, whatever it may be. But that was a good portion of the week. On my breaks, I would just be kind of sitting there whittling away, and yeah, I was very happy about it. Speaking about diversifying and kind of putting a bunch of eggs in different baskets, I actually had a different egg, I guess, reach out to me on Etsy. I had an architect reach out about, they've seen a couple of my other projects and they were looking to get a couple of their own projects for their own place. And that is very exciting because I know architects, designers, interior designers, if you can kind of get into that field and you get a couple that are reliable, from other people I've talked to, they can provide you some very reliable work every month, especially if you do good work. She reached out about a couple custom couch tables, possibly some side tables, and I kind of want to, I don't know what's the word, cherish, cultivate that relationship with her, and hopefully doing a couple of these projects, kind of showing her what my abilities are, will help foster that's the word that I was looking for, into a new kind of partnership, and hopefully lead to doing some other projects for some of her clients or someone else that she may know. So we're hoping that goes somewhere. I've been reaching out, showing her some drawings, and kind of just giving her the Stone Mountain Project treatment of creative process. Brendan also came out for the last time for a couple weeks. He's going on vacation, but he came out on Monday just to help. Just got a few things done around the shop, a little bit of milling, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But we also, the big thing was we worked on his dog bowl stand. We got it sprayed. So I got him on the sprayer, just kind of putting a couple coats down, just so that he kind of sees what that process looks like. While he's away on holidays, I finished it up. Basically just rinse and repeat. So I didn't need him there. And it gets to go home with him earlier. So I'm excited for him to see the final product, to see what that thing looks like, because it actually came out pretty sick. I've also had a little bit of a mindset shift in the past couple weeks here. As we're going into spring, the business hasn't been where I've kind of wanted it, and the growth isn't exactly where I want it to either. So I am putting in the long hours. So the past week or so, I've been putting in 14, 15-hour days, working in the morning on the computer, working at the shop all day, and then coming home and working on the computer again. I'm trying to update the website even more, streamlining it, kind of getting it to more of what my vision is for the future of Stone Mountain Projects, and making sure that the website shows that, make sure it's SEO ready, and that Google's picking it up so I can start ranking higher, getting more eyeballs on there, which hopefully leads more leads. And with that mindset shift of working those longer hours, it does take a few days for me to kind of get into that groove. But then once I kind of have that routine of what I'm doing every day, it does seem to kind of to flow a little bit better. So I am not a morning person by any means. I am very much a night owl, and that is my chronotype. I enjoy being up late. I think I work a lot better in the evenings. So when I do wake up, I'm not an early bird. I'm not waking up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I wake up at 8, and I start my day from there. And I work most of the mornings until probably at 10, 11 o'clock in the office here. And then I go into the shop for probably 11:30, 12-ish. But then I usually work from 12 to 8 in the shop these past few weeks anyways. And then once I get home, I'll usually make dinner, watch part of a show or something while I'm cooking. And then usually from 8 to 11, 8 to 12, sometimes early morning, is when I find I'm doing the best work. So that's when I'm working on Etsy stuff, when I'm designing, editing, all that jazz, is when I find I do the best work. And I think that's important to find out when you do your best work. And I'm very fortunate as my own business owner, is I can choose to wake up at 8 o'clock and go to bed at 1 in the morning if I feel like it. As with typical jobs, it's very much tailored towards the early morning crowd. So if you're up at 4 or 5 and you can be productive, that's great for you. I've never been able to do that. It has always been a slog to get out of the bed before that 8 o'clock, sometimes 7:30 if I'm wired. But yeah, so I'm finding that I'm trying to listen to my chronotype and put in the work when I feel that I'm at my best. And moving forward, I'm really dedicating that time to do that, and to kind of push myself and push the business forward. I do have a big wedding that we're actually road tripping back out to Calgary for. And I have a bunch of projects that I need to get out and want to get out so that I'm not super slammed when I get back. So these long hours are not necessarily temporary, but I'm putting in extra work right now to make sure that I am ahead for when I come back, that I'm not in a position where I am rushing or playing catch up, which pretty much happens all the time when you're a small business and you leave from somewhere and you come back from vacation or a trip. You always seem that you feel like you were ahead when you left, and then you're 2 weeks behind when you get back. So we're putting in the long hours, trying to get it moving forward. Very excited. Like I said when I was talking at the beginning about it's hard work to make a sustainable income, this week was no different. I kind of evened out everything, so I'm not really ahead, not really behind. I made about $410 on Etsy just from uh, some sales and stuff. A lot of my couch tables and my breadboards are selling, which is great to see going into the springtime. So like I said, I'm focusing. I did some more marketing, so hopefully that is leading to that. And then I sold a couple smaller custom boards to a previous client for their space. So I made about another $480 just on those, which was great. Moving on to the expenses, it was just my same expenses that I have every week was just that 877, covers utilities, heating, all that stuff. With the nicer weather coming up, I'm hoping I can turn off the heater soon and be able to not have to heat until next winter. So that will save me a little bit of money each month, which is great because propane is expensive. And to go along with everything being expensive, and then I was talking about diversifying stuff, I'm really starting to take YouTube seriously, and I'm really going to be trying to put out this year a bunch of videos. So my NES table, I have a build on the SNES desk I've been talking about for the past few weeks, and then I've had a couple other videos that have just kind of been queued up but haven't been edited. So I'm trying to make those as good as possible. I know I've been talking about it for the last few weeks that I wanted to get these out. Editing is a slog. It is taking longer than I thought it was going to. I'm new to editing. I'm learning the software and stuff, so I'm trying to make it as flowy as possible and as high quality as I can at this point. And once those are out, I hope that they are bangers. I hope they skyrocket. I hope they do really well. And support from you guys and everyone watching and all my friends and family means the world to me. Uh, if you're interested subscribing, I would really like to get over that 1,000 sub mark and be able to start monetizing the channel just so that I can start making some AdSense from it and make a little bit of extra money because like I said, those little drops in all those tiny buckets at the end of the month into that big bucket, it makes a difference. So with that, please subscribe. The next few weeks are going to be interesting. I think they're going to be a little bit different, a little bit kooky, a little bit quirky. And I'm excited to share it with everyone because I have really been enjoying sharing my journey as a business owner and all the ups and downs that I've been going through with everyone. So I hope that they're mildly interesting, mildly funny, getting something out of them. Like I said, leave anything down in the comments. I try to read everything that is down there. Not too many of them right now, but hopefully this starts growing. So until next week, go build something. Bye.